Rhea Ripley spot from WWE Night of Champions gets heavily criticized by former tag team champion. They're not affected by it. A spot involving Rhea Ripley at WWE Night of Champions was called out by former multi-time tag team champion Bully Ray. He wasn't impressed with the referee holding the table during the Avalanche Riptide. Ripley faced Raquel Rodriguez in a street fight at the Premium Live event. The Eradicator won the match after she hit her finishing maneuver from the top of a table that was set up on a turnbuckle. The referee was seen holding on to the table to briefly assist the wrestlers and avoid a potential mishap. Speaking on the Busted Open podcast, the former multi-time tag team champion, Bully Ray, suggested that referees should never get involved in matches. "I don't think a referee should ever be involved in anything. I think referees are involved in entirely too much stuff today in pro wrestling, period," Bully said, pointing out how pro wrestling wants everything to be credible like other major sports, yet no other sport would let a referee or umpire get involved in the action. "They do these things, fans just cheer and ooh and ah, they're not affected by it, and they just keep moving forward," Ray added. H/T Wrestling Inc. Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez's spot left a bad taste in Bully Ray's mouth. The table spot involving Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez left a bad taste in Bully Ray's mouth. Speaking on the same episode of the Busted Open podcast, he added, "The whole table situation left a bad taste in my mouth when it came to Rhea and Raquel. Yes, wrestlers' safety is very important, but you're telling me the wrestlers' safety is very important in a street fight to the point the referee has to hold the table so it's not shaking, so the women can execute the move? It's glaring to me." Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez might have ended their rivalry, at least for now, with the Eradicator shifting her focus on the Women's World Championship ahead of Evolution. Meanwhile, Rodriguez will team up with Roxanne Perez to defend the Women's Tag Team Championship in a fatal four-way match next weekend in Atlanta. Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez's spot at WWE Night of Champions, called out by veteran for one major reason, left a bad taste in my mouth. Rhea Ripley defeated Raquel Rodriguez at WWE Night of Champions after connecting with a huge Avalanche Riptide from the top of a table placed over the top rope. Wrestling legend Bully Ray questioned the same spot. During the spot, the referee was seen holding onto the table, seemingly to keep it stable, as Rhea Ripley went to execute her finisher on Rodriguez. This moment was called out by Ray, who suggested that a referee shouldn't get involved in the match under similar circumstances. Speaking on Busted Open Radio, the veteran suggested that the spot left a bad taste in his mouth. "The whole table situation left a bad taste in my mouth when it came to Rhea and Raquel," Ray said. "Yes, wrestlers' safety is very important, but you're telling me the wrestlers' safety is very important in a street fight to the point the referee has to hold the table so it's not shaking, so the women can execute the move? It's glaring to me." H/T Wrestling Inc. Bully Ray specifically pointed out the finish from Rhea Ripley. Speaking on the same topic, Bully Ray claimed that wrestlers should try to find a way to execute a move without the involvement of a referee or not attempt the move at all. "It screams that what we're doing is nothing more than, a show, it's entertainment. And what I'm talking about specifically is the referee holding the table on the top rope so both women can go up there and do, Rhea's finish. If you can't do a stunt like that without the help of the referee, either find a way to do it, or don't do it at all," added Ray. Rhea Ripley defeated Raquel Rodriguez in a street fight. The match was set up by Adam Pearce after the two superstars got engaged in a huge brawl on an episode of Monday Night Raw prior to Night of Champions 2025. Was scary. Rhea Ripley details one of the most disturbing interactions she'd had with a WWE fan. Former WWE Women's Champion Rhea Ripley has detailed a creepy fan interaction which took place outside her home, saying, "This chick was like she just came out of the movie Smile." Read on for details. Rhea Ripley is one of the most popular female professional wrestlers in the world, but with that sort of attention comes fans who often take their love of WWE superstars way too far. The Eradicator is someone who receives a ton of attention on social media, some flattering, some undeniably creepy. In a new interview with Chris Van Vliet, Ripley detailed a real-world interaction that saw a woman show up on her door. However, not content with tracking Ripley down and delivering some fan mail, this fan decided to creepily smile through her Ring camera. We looked at the Ring camera, and there's some chick at our door, and I didn't think anything of it. And I was like, why does she keep ringing the doorbell and just stand there for eternity? Ripley recalled. And then we had our Australian friends who live near us, and they came to pick up our mail, and they go, this is for Rhea Ripley. I think it's fan mail? I was like, oh no, who the hell has my address? That's just something that people shouldn't be doing. That's kind of like crossing the line. We are normal people outside of work, and we like our privacy. We like to have our normal humanity. But I went back and I watched the Ring doorbell, and this chick was like she just came out of the movie Smile. I'm sorry if you're watching this, lady, but you were terrifying. She was scary. She rang the doorbell, she got real close to it and just smiles creepily. Then she looks at her phone and she smiles again, and she did this for so long. She was there for like 10 minutes, and then she left, came back, did it again, and then she left, and then she came back wearing something different and rang the doorbell, the former WWE Women's Champion continued. I was just like, this lady really thinks that we're home, the cars are there because we left them there. If I was home, I wouldn't know what to do. If I opened the door and she was just standing there, what could have happened? She could have done anything. I don't know you, you could have attacked me, and I don't know how she got her car in the gate. We have a gated community, no one lets you in, terrifying. Ripley added, you have to understand that that's our work, and it's like we go home and we're different people, and what you see on TV is not what you get outside of TV. So it's like we're normal people. Please do not come up to our house. Do not stalk our property, do not threaten to kill us over a storyline on WWE. And it's craziness like that, and people need to understand boundaries sometimes. That is some pretty strange behavior and definitely crosses a line. Fans can meet their favorite superstars at many events over the course of the year, so tracking them down to their homes, or even in the airport, is not cool. WWE stars to join new Rhea Ripley faction. Flipping the script on the typical faction of all men with one woman, it would be incredible to see a Rhea Ripley-led faction full of women and Damian Priest. Having a male on hand for interactions with other mixed-gender factions would definitely be a benefit, but furthermore, Priest being an occasional comedic foil to tensions between the women in the group would be really fun. Having a long-standing friendship with Ripley, it would be legendary to see the Terror Twins reunite in a whole new group. WWE must make this bold booking decision at Evolution. Evolution 2025 is fast approaching, with WWE putting forth their second-ever all-women's premium live event on July 13th at the State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. The show will see stars from NXT, the present-day main roster, and legends, with matches including Tiffany Stratton vs. Trish Stratus, Naomi vs. Jade Cargill, and others. When looking ahead to Evolution, there is one match in particular that WWE must take extreme care with, and that is the Women's World Championship clash between Iyo Sky and Rhea Ripley. For the betterment of the women's division, WWE must be bold and have Sky retain her title. At Evolution, Iyo Sky defends the Women's World title against Rhea Ripley. Sky dethroned Ripley on the road to WrestleMania. She defended the title in a triple threat at WrestleMania 41. Sky selected Ripley as her Evolution opponent. 2025 has seen Iyo Sky and Rhea Ripley find their paths crossing multiple times. On the road to WrestleMania 41, Sky pursued the Women's World Championship, upsetting Ripley with a shock win on Monday Night Raw, turning the world title picture on its head. This led to a three-way rivalry involving Sky, Ripley, and Bianca Belair. At WrestleMania 41, Sky overcame the odds and retained her title, carrying it forwards as she continued to build momentum, shine in the ring, and remain very over with the WWE audience. In the lead-up to Evolution, Iyo Sky was granted the chance to select her challenger. Rhea Ripley had already declared her interest in becoming the Women's World Champion again, remaining in and around Sky in recent months. Sky, being the fearless and fighting babyface champion she is, selected Ripley for Evolution. Some of the reaction to this included eye rolls among fans, who were not all too impressed with the fact that Ripley was once again in the world title picture. In fact, despite Ripley only having a 56-day reign in 2025, she has been involved in all 5 of the women's world title matches that have taken place this year. The next match between Sky and Ripley must feature a bold booking call from WWE, and there are various reasons as to why Iyo Sky must defeat Rhea Ripley and retain her championship. Iyo Sky has been WWE's Best Women's Wrestler of the Year. She deserves an even longer reign as Women's World Champion. She should not lose the gold yet. Rhea Ripley is arguably WWE's biggest female star today and is consistently over with the WWE fanbase. However, Iyo Sky must win at Evolution. Ever since